Good evening, race fans, and welcome to another exciting race, the second to last round here at the Frito Super Late Model Touring Series. We are here today at Iowa Speedway. My name is Mason Heimbaugh, bringing you today's action with Team Goon Squad, 1080p, 60 frames a second, and we have an exciting race for everyone here watching today. As these drivers get their lone qualifying wrapped up and ready to start the first round of heat races today. I do believe we are having 2 heat races. I might be mistaken in that, as the field is looking a little slim tonight, looking at about 18 drivers in the field tonight, so we might potentially see only 1 heat race for today, but we will see, and it's only going to be 6 heat laps, as you can see, and our drivers are going to get ready to start their first heat race in our grid for tonight. John Sinu starting first, Justin Callahan in second, Devin McDonald in third, Nathan Henry in fourth, Skip Gandy in fifth, Eric Papanow in sixth, David Payton in seventh, Charles Darling in eighth, Ron Hart in ninth, Nick Fleury in 10th, Brett Hahn in 11th, Andrew Payne in 12th, last week's race winner. John DeMeester in 13th, John Kane in 14th, Austin Nielsen in 15th, Hayden Swank in 16th, Cody Green in 17th, and Richard Pruitt in 18th. So I was correct. We will only be having 1 heat race for today. We are going to get started and ready to go here today as drivers make their way around the field behind the pace car, getting themselves lined up, ready to go for today's race. And I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an exciting one today. The second to last race here of this second season of the Super Late Model Series here with the American Sim Racing Club. And it has been an exciting season so far, with Brett Hahn dominating the field almost entirely. And we have a graphic here that we've made here at Team Goon Squad to better show our viewers where everyone is standing in points, make things a little bit nicer and a little bit neater. And as you can see, Brett Hahn is leading first with nearly 447 points, with Nick Fleury in second with 400, and Andrew Payne in third with 387. But Andrew Payne is not quite safe, as he has David Payton with 382 points. Very close behind him indeed. And Eric Papanow rounding out the top 5 with 381 points. We will be taking a closer look at that later as the race progresses on, but we are getting ready to start today's action here. Our first laps around Iowa Speedway. And I have to say, this track is very interesting. I took some time to put some laps down on this track myself to get the cameras ready for this week.
Green flag, green flag.
And we have the green checkered flag. And actually, I'm going to briefly just minor fix something here for you guys. I was having the pleasure of racing myself this week, but that is not what we are talking about here today. We are here to talk about the race here today at Iowa Speedway for the American Sim Racing Club for the Frito Super Late Model Series, with John Sinu currently leading the field in the number 86 machine, doing an excellent job as well. He's got quite the gap, with Devin McDonald behind him in second. You can see the drivers making their way down the field, looking impressive as always. John's getting a little bit of pressure there from Devin McDonald, but behind him we have a whole bunch of drivers that are... Oh, and we have a driver sideways, the 75, Justin Callahan. He's going to be in the grass on the front stretch, and it's not even really a stretch, it's more of a curve. There's not really a whole lot about this this section here in this track that is straight about it. The only section that is actually truly straight is this back stretch here that Justin Callahan is currently making his way around, but 3 laps left to go. John Sinu in first, still doing an absolutely fantastic job holding on to that position there. Looking behind him, Skip Gandy in the number 20 machine doing an impressive job just trying to put the pressure on the number 18 of Devin McDonald, seeing if he can possibly take a second or even a first place podium position. Well, not a podium position, but a starting position for the feature race here today. We only have 100 laps for the feature. 2 laps left to go here in our one and only heat race for today. And my, oh my, these drivers are looking fantastic as always. But we have a battle here. Skip Gandy going side by side with Devin McDonald. Devin got a little bit sideways there. Oh, man, that cost him a little bit of time there. So Skip Gandy taking advantage of that. He's going to be able to stay second now with a little bit of pressure now building up behind him. Brett Hahn in the number 71 slowly working his way towards him, as well as Nathan Hen. Oh, and we have a car up on the wall. I'm not sure who that was. I wasn't able to catch that on my screen. It looks like Devin McDonald possibly. But the checkered flag has come out. And that's going to wrap up our heat race winners. John Cena in the 86, Skip Gandy in the 20, and Brett Hahn in the 71 is going to be our winners for our heat race today. And that is going to determine our lineup for that'll determine our lineup for the feature race. Now, as these drivers get their warm-ups in, we are actually going to see if we can have a word with some of the drivers here today. Let's start with Brett Hahn. In the 71, who placed third in that feature, or in that heat race. And let's see how he was feeling during that heat race. Brett Hahn, sir, can you read me?
Yeah, I got a copy, Mason.
Brett, you placed third in that heat race there. It was looking pretty interesting in the back of the field there. It looked like it was John Cena who kind of had it in the bag there. But there was some action that developed throughout the field, and things kind of changed rather quickly. But no cautions came out, and you managed to place yourself in third. How are you feeling going into this feature tonight?
Yeah, Mason. Well, first and foremost, I got to say sorry to my man, Justin. I got into his back bumper there and totally misjudged the closing speed coming off of 4, and he got spun off my nose. So I think I might do the gentleman thing here and start from the back of the feature. Even though it didn't bring out a yellow, I feel bad, and I'll move myself to the back to kind of justify that. But overall, that 71 machine was moving through that field. I had a bunch of fun kind of squeezing my way through the middle, trying to keep that rear end underneath me, because this track is for sure very loose, Mason.
Absolutely. And speaking of the 71 machine, Brett, I have to ask you about that paint scheme that you have on that machine, the Admin Admirer, looking quite fantastic. I gotta say that's one of the more unique schemes that I've seen here on iRacing.
Yeah, Mason, I checked it out last season. I have to do it at least once a season. It got beat up the last time, so that's all the different color quarter panels. It was last race at Bristol, and the team, this is the super speedway car, let's call it, and didn't have time to get it fully wrapped and matched, so that's all the different quarter panels. But all the admin faces are on it. All of them are on the back bumper, so hopefully the cars stay off my back bumper as this race goes on. But yeah, be sure to try and find your favorite admin face on the car, because all 5 of them, except for mine, of course, is on there.
Absolutely, Brett. Well, Brett, good luck to you here in the feature. I'm going to let you get your warm-up in here while you still have a little bit of time left. Brett, good luck to you, and I hope to get to talk to you again here towards the end of the race.
Yeah, thank you, Mason. And I just want to shout out also John Cena for winning that heat race. That was pretty awesome to see him get a heat race win. But yep, appreciate it, Mason. And yeah, I plan to talk to you after the race, Mason. So we'll bring home the 71 machine, hopefully in the top 3.
All right, Brett. Good luck to you. I'll hopefully talk to you again tonight.
All right, thanks, Mason.
All right, that was Brett Hahn in the number 71. Up next, we are going to see if we're going to have a quick word with Skip Gandy here in the number 20. Skip, sir, can you read me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Skip, I'm just going to ask you a real quick question here. You placed second here in that heat race. How are you feeling going into the feature tonight?
Yeah, it's kind of iffy on that one. Hopefully, I feel pretty good about it. I'm just got to like try to keep the car under me and not burn off the tires too quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Iowa is definitely going to be a tricky track to keep that in check and keep everything on the track and everything green and clean. But Skip, I'm going to let you get back to it, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to you again at the end of the race.
Let's hope. Thanks, man.
Absolutely, Skip. Talk to you tonight. All right, that was Skip Gandy in the number 20. And last, but certainly not least, John Sinu in the number 86. We're going to have a very quick word with him. John, sir, can you read me?
Yeah, I got you.
John, apologies for having to take you out of warm-up here, but I got to ask you, how are you feeling after finishing first here in that heat race?
That was really good. I tell you, I wasn't even sure if I was going to race tonight. I've been dealing with some foot issues lately, but I'm glad I came out. We'll see how that transfers over to 100 laps where I end up. But car's really loose center off. But no, that felt good. I held a pretty good pace. And I really tried not to overdrive the car to try to emulate what would happen on the track. But yeah, it felt pretty good. The car felt pretty decent. You just really got to be really easy with that throttle.
Absolutely, John. Well, we're just now wrapping up our warm-up here. We're going to start our feature. John, good luck to you, and I hope to talk to you at the end of the race here.
Thank you. I hope I get to talk to you as well.
All right, John. See ya. All right, everyone. Our warm-up has come to an end, and we are going to get started for our feature race here today. And our grid for tonight's race: John Sino starting in first place, Skip Gandy in second, Brett Hahn in third, Nathan Henry in fourth, Andrew Payne in fifth, Ron Hart in sixth, David Payton in seventh, Eric Papineau in eighth, John Kane in ninth, John DeMeester in 10th, Cody Green in 11th, Nick Fleury in 12th, Devin McDonald in 13th, Justin Callahan in 14th, Charles Darling in 15th, Austin Nielsen in 16th, Hayden Swank in 17th, and last but certainly not least, Richard Pruitt in 18th. That is going to be our lineup for today's race. We are actually going to start things from pit row here tonight. We're going to watch what our race leader, John Sino and Skip Gandy, are going to do here. Starting in the first line here at Iowa Speedway for, I believe this is round number 12, if I'm not mistaken, of 13 here for the Super Late Model Series. The Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series, might I add. And our lights are off on the pace car, so this will be our last time around the track before we see the pace car head into pit road. And we start our first green flag laps here around the track. And see exactly who is going to be the driver to take home the win here and potentially give themselves a further advantage in the points standings, or if they're just going to come out with a win just to have one, if you will. But it actually looks like we're going to take another lap around here, around the track. Let these drivers get themselves ready to go here. Drivers have an option at the beginning of the race to start at the back of the field if they choose to do so. They make that known during gridding, so usually if we see the pace car have to go around the track another time around, it's usually because drivers are still working their way to their proper positions. But also on another note, Andrew Payne is also going to be starting in the back of the field, as he was last week's winner at USA International Speedway with a absolutely fantastic win, might I add, as well. So hopefully we're going to see Andrew Payne come out again here tonight and put out another potential win here, as he is also still very close in point standings. 387 points from where he is. Brett Hahn is still quite out of reach, I think, for most of these drivers. I think Nick Fleury, if he were to win this race and next week's race, he might have a chance. But we are green flagged and we are rocking and rolling here. John Sinu in the number 86, taking an impressive launch on the rest of the field here, looking fantastic as well. You can see there's Skip Gandy in the number 20 machine trying to get on his bumper, but John Sinu is doing an impressive job maintaining speed, but he goes a little bit higher. Skip Gandy's taking the low line, trying to stick down low, see if he can get a little bit more speed. It seems like that 20 machine does have a bit more speed coming out of these turns here. I believe this was turn number 2, coming down the straightaway now, going into turns 3 and 4. John holding on to first place still, but Skip Gandy is absolutely putting the pressure on. But David Payton in third place has even more pressure behind him, as he's going to have Nathan Henry in the 59 on his door on the middle line on his outside. As these drivers make their way now through turns 3, coming out of turns 4 now. David Payton just trying to hold on to his line and try and get a little bit more speed, as Nathan Henry has taken that third place position from David Payton now. But David's not going to let that go easily. But Nick Fleury in the number 25 is slowly creeping his way through the field as well, and doing a fantastic job of it as well. He's gaining quite a bit of speed, taking advantage of the draft of the 59 of Nathan Henry, kind of bobbing and weaving between the two drivers of Nathan Henry and David Payton, just trying to find his preferred line where he can. And following behind them, Eric Papanow in the number 43, trying to do his hardest to stay in the mix of things, as he's got a field of drivers behind him as well. Eric's in 6th place currently. He's looking to increase that lead as much, well, increase his position as much as he possibly can here. And it looks like Eric actually fell off the pace there just a tiny little bit. Not sure what exactly happened here. We're going to take a little bit wider look here at the rest of the field and see what's happening down on track. You can see David Payton fell off quite significantly, it looked like, actually. Actually, no. I'm incorrect. I'm thinking of the wrong driver. David Payton's actually working his way through the same bit of drivers, as we have contact from the 59 of Nathan Henry. He's going to fall back now down to 9th place. And holding it there. Not much more contact from that. Just a little bit of a love tap to the bumper, it seems like, as these drivers are still just doing an absolutely fantastic job of racing here. Let's hop on board with one of these drivers here and see what's going on. Let's hop on board with Eric Papanow and just see what that 43 machine is having to deal with. You can see Brett Hahn in the 71 slowly working his way through the field, and it looks like Brett Hahn might have even passed him there for just a brief second. No, he has not. He's still on that bumper. Well, rather on the door Absolutely fantastic work there from Brett Hahn, but Eric Papanow still just trying to hold on to his line. And you can kind of hear it. Oh, as we have a caution out on the field actually as well. I wonder what happened there. As I don't see... I don't see any incidents that are obvious to me. Let's check this one out. Alright, so we're checking out... Let's see if this is the right one. I'm still a little confused at what actually happened here. It seems like a caution just came out. Unsure what the issue was there, what exactly happened. I don't have the information available to me to properly explain it, but we have a lot of drivers making their way into pit road now. So I'm not exactly sure if there was a driver that potentially got into the grass coming out of turns 4, maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm surprised I didn't see it. That could have possibly slipped past me, but I'm not exactly seeing anything obvious. So unsure the cause of the first caution here at Iowa Speedway, but it's lap 12 of 100. Lap 11 of 100, excuse me. So we still have quite a bit of racing left, and it's actually a shorter race than we're normally used to here at ASRC, but given that this is a slightly larger track than what we're actually used to for ASRC specifically, given that these guys are usually racing short track, and Iowa Speedway is just a little bit bigger than a short track, but definitely makes for some great fun racing, some great action as well. As it seems there's been some action already, and I've been unable to find it, but we're gonna get things rocking and rolling here again, and see what happens on this restart here. So we're going to just ride on board here with John Sinu in the number 86 machine. And I'm curious to just listen to John's car here. Once the pace car makes its way back into pit road, and these guys launch. I just want to hear. I want to hear the acceleration. I just want to hear him slam the throttle to the ground, essentially. And here we go. There he goes, and off we go. We are green flag racing once again here at Iowa Speedway. John Sinu, pedal to the metal, and he's got some drivers behind him. Skip Gandy trying to work his way to the bumper of that 86, and he might be able to pull it off here, but I don't think he's interested in getting to that bumper of the 86. I think he's more interested in just getting around it more than anything. But Brett Hahn and Nick Fleury both kind of side by side. Brett Hahn on the outside, Nick Fleury on the inside, coming out of, I believe this is turn 2. These drivers are going to be duking it out for third place, but I think these drivers are more on the hunt for first, more than anything, as Brett Hahn makes his way past Nick Fleury, and he's going to be on the door on the outside of Skip Gandy in the number 20, and nearly on the bumper there of the 86 of John Cena in first. For just a moment, Brett Hahn looking absolutely very fast in the number 71 here today. Something in that car is just working magic for Brett today. But Brett is also a very talented driver, so it wouldn't surprise me if that is the case here today. And Brett Hahn with the impressive pass there on the bottom, coming out of turn 2, or excuse me, on turn 2 there. He's able to work his way into first place now. And John Cena falling back to third now, as he's going to be door-to-door with Skip Gandy battling it out. They get a little bit of a tap there, as we saw just for a moment. Oh, another little tap there that we saw. This is getting exciting quicker, faster and faster. These drivers keep on turning, and we just have drivers all over the place just making action all over. We have Ron Hart, Nick Fleury, Skip Gandy, David Payton, Andrew Payne, all in the mix here. Trying to do work, trying to make something happen for themselves here today at Iowa Speedway. We're looking at Ron Hart in the 051 machine. Going to be side by side with Nick Fleury in the number 25. They're going to be coming up very quickly to the number 2 position, John Cena in the 86 car. But they're kind of working against each other, as they're still side by side, just door to door, coming into turn 4 here, coming out into the straightaway as well. But Ron Hart doing a very, very impressive job, leaving Nick Fleury there plenty of room to make sure that he doesn't send him into the wall and send himself out of the race as well if Nick Fleury were to come back down the track and into him. As Ron Hart is going to make a dive for second place around John Cena in the 86. It seems like he's successful in doing so, but they're still side by side almost. But I think Ron's going to be able to pull out in front of that 86 here in just a couple seconds here, possibly in this next. And there it is right there. Ron Hart in front of the 86 of John Cena. Ron Hart now second place. John in third, but Nick Fleury in the 25. He's closing in very, very quickly. Nick Fleury in fourth place, going to be on the bumper of the 86, going to be looking to try and take that third place position from him very quickly, but there's a ton of drivers behind him as well that want to do exactly the same thing as well. And speaking of drivers that want to do the same exact thing, Andrew Payne in the number 93 machine, who started in 15th in tonight's race. He's already in 7th place currently, doing a fantastic job working his way through the field. And according to my timing, it looks like he is down 2 positions from where he started on the restart from the yellow caution. So he was 5th place a moment ago. Not sure what happened there, but Andrew Payne just trying to do what he can to work his way through the field, and David Payton doing exactly the same thing as well. The 38 trying to get anywhere he possibly can. He's now closing in behind John Cena as well, who's currently 4th. John Cena still battling it out with Nick Fleury in the 25. These drivers going side by side here, nearly the entire turn here. And the thing I'm noticing too is a lot of these guys are kind of maintaining the same groups here quite often. I'm sure we'll start to see these drivers get a little farther away from each other as the race progresses on, but lap 24 of 100, we're a quarter of the way through the race already, and things are... Oh, the 86 of John Cena goes on the wall and down to the grass. Caution comes out onto the field once again. Let's have a look at what happened to John there. we're going to back things up here just a little bit, and we'll actually ride on board with John Sinu and see exactly what happened to John here. Oh, let's take that back one more time. Seemed to have got into it right as it happened. And we'll kind of slow things up here just a little bit. You can see Nick Fleury in the number 25 right in front of John Sinu here in the 86 as he just gets onto the wall there. All four tires back on the ground. And you see the 38 of David Payton go right past the bump at the front end of the 86 there as John makes his way down to the grass. What an unfortunate way to kind of put yourself down the field. Absolutely heartbreaking to see for John in the 86 there. I'm sure he's probably not too happy with that incident there. He's going to try and make the best of it, however. I'm sure, as most of these guys often do. A lot of talented guys here who, just they make mistakes just like every other driver, professional or sim racer or casual, whatever kind of racer you are. Everyone is bound to make mistakes here and there, and unfortunately, John just happened to do that there and found himself in the grass for just a minute, but he's going to head back into pit road for just a second, get himself squared back away, check the car out once again, make sure that everything's good to go for the restart here. As drivers make their way, I think we're going to go single file for this restart. It might be still double file. I'm pretty sure it's still double file. It might, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Skip Gandy's going to be out in front with the number 75 of Justin Callahan in second, and Nathan Henry in the number 59. We saw Nathan Henry actually doing some work kind of in the middle of the field there towards, I believe it was the top 10. I believe he was about 8th place, 7th place, somewhere in there. Yeah, just absolutely putting in work. Nathan Henry up one position from where he started. So if he started 4th, he might have fell back a little bit and had to work his way back through the field. I could be wrong about that, however. Not too sure about that. But we still have a few drivers in pit road. We have Andrew Payne actually in pit road, as well as David Payton. Still in pit road. Not sure what happened to those cars there, but hopefully we'll see them back out on the track here before too long. It'd be unfortunate to see those drivers fall out, and it looks like Andrew Payne is coming out. All right, and just to kind of remind everyone as well, too, our points standings for this race are kind of interesting. Now, Brett Hahn is arguably still the winner here in this season. However, like I said, if Nick Fleury is able to pull off insanity here and win this race and possibly next week's race, but we have action unfolding as drivers see the green flag and Skip Gandy taking an impressive gap on the field. In first place, Justin Callahan in second with Nathan Henry in third. Not a whole lot of action that we're seeing from the front of the field. These guys doing absolutely fantastic work, just keeping clean so far, but they have a field of very fast drivers looking to regain their lost positions and get themselves back into the front of the pack, if you will. Brett Hahn is one of those drivers in the 71 looking to do exactly that, as he's going to quickly work his way up to the top 3 here with Nick Fleury, Ron Hart, and Devin McDonald in tow as well. Absolutely impressive work there. It looks like Devin McDonald in the 18 fell off just a little bit. But Brett Hahn, I don't think he's going to be letting up anytime soon, as he is just putting the pressure on the guys in the top 3 currently. And Brett's going to be looking to try and secure his win for the season, I think. Like I said, if Nick Fleury is able to pull off two race wins, the last 2 races here in this season, tonight and next week, he could win this season. But he's got to pull the rabbit out of the hat and really put the pedal to the metal here tonight, I think, if he wants to make that happen. And so far, Nick Fleury is looking pretty impressive. The 25 machine is right behind the 71. He's got support from the 051 of Ron Hart, giving him a little bit of a kind of a bump draft. So it's working in his favor just a little bit, and Nick's staying in the same line as Brett Hahn, just trying to maintain the same amount of speed. So Nick's doing a fantastic job trying to hold on to that. But we're going to look back a little bit further in the field here, check on the rest of the drivers in this race. Charles Darling in the number 88 in 8th place. Currently, he's up 7 positions from where he started in today's race. Well, I believe 7 positions from where he started in the restart, I think is the correct way there. He's got quite a bit of drivers around him trying to make something happen. Justin Callahan fell back a little bit from the front of the field. He started second on the restart. Justin falling back to 8th place now, with Charles Darling seemingly trying to work his way through the field. Devin McDonald in the 18 is the only driver in front of him currently that he has to catch up to work through. But in front of Devin McDonald, Nick Fleury is he's got quite the bit of a cluster around him, as the 051 and the 25 seem to get very, very close there for just a moment. Let's ride on board with Nick Fleury and see just how much he's pushing that car here. Absolutely impressive work here from Nick Fleury that we're seeing. Ron Hart in the 051 currently in front of him. Nick Fleury just trying to do his best to catch up to these guys, and we actually have a driver, Nathan Henry, on his outside. Now you can see there the 051 of Ron Hart. You can see how excuse me, how sideways these cars can get going into these turns. They kind of slide a little bit. It can be fun sometimes, but if you do it too much, it's definitely very difficult to recover from. But Ron Hart seemingly able to just kind of almost slide that car out of turn 4 into the quote-unquote straightaway going into turn 1. Nick Fleury doing an absolutely fantastic job of trying to just work his way through the field, but we're going to be looking at Nathan Henry in the 59 on the outside of Nick Fleury. And Nathan's doing an impressive job as well, just trying to be fast. He's taken this outside line here, which I don't think is helping him too much, but I have been corrected, as it seems he's able to keep it out in front going into that straightaway. I'm not sure how well it's going to work long term. Taking that outside line, he might have to find himself going on the inside. I could be wrong about that. Again, I'm not the expert here, as far as driving the car, but I do my best to inform any people that may not know as much about racing and would like to know more. It's always fun getting people to experience racing and learn more about it, as it is an ever-growing sport. We have ever-growing action here throughout the field here at Iowa Speedway for the Frito Super Late Model Touring Series. And I gotta say, there's just a whole lot of interesting action that we have developing here today. John Sinu that we're looking at currently for just a moment, doing fantastic work. Looking at Nick Fleury here. Devin McDonald working his way through the field as well, getting behind Nick Fleury, and you can just see how easy it is to lose your pace here in this field. We have a driver sideways. Nick Fleury, that is not what we want to see here at Iowa Speedway. We have other drivers going into contact. Let's have a look at that. We're going to see if we can get a closer look at what happens here to the number 25 of Nick Fleury. Cameraman getting a little bit loose as well. Oh, it seems like the 59 just tapped the rear of Nick Fleury there. The 59 of Nathan Henry. Nick Fleury getting into Devin McDonald. And the 88 of Charles Darling also getting involved. Multiple drivers involved in this incident here. Not what we want to see here. Let's back things up here just a smidgen and see if we can get just one more look at what happened here and see exactly what kind of carnage ensued here. We'll go a little bit wider so we can see exactly how many drivers get involved in this. You can see there. Multiple, I believe about 4 or 5 drivers involved in that incident in total. As we are seeing a very slow caution lap here today. I think things are getting themselves sorted out, but we are nearing that halfway point, and I think I see. We're gonna follow behind. We're gonna follow with John DeMeester, who is currently behind the pace car, and we'll let things get sorted out from there. But anywho, I want to briefly mention and talk about the future of Team Goon Squad and the American Sim Racing Club for the next season of the American Sim Racing Club series, quote unquote. We won't be doing super late models again. We're going to be doing something a little bit different this time. So on your screen is the 2022 racing schedule for the Mountain Dew Modified Tour for the American Sim Racing Club. It's going to be the same times, same place as you always find it currently here on Team Goon Squad. Our first race for that series will be December 1st of this year. So be sure to keep that in the back of your minds, as that is when we will be getting started for that season, for that series. It's going to be a very exciting one. You're going to see a lot of your favorite drivers here from the super late models making their way into some modifieds. And I certainly do love myself some kind of some open wheel racing. It's going to be some great exciting action to see there. So hopefully we'll see you all tune in for that. Check that action out. But getting back to the live action here. Cody Green, John Cena, Andrew Payne, first, second, and third respectively. We've had quite a bit of, I would say, interesting developments. Not much has really changed I would say the front of the, well, it kind of has changed the front of the field a little bit, but it's changed it in a way where it's pushing all of the drivers that are still contending for points. It just makes it that much more interesting. We'll see how things shape up here. I really would like to see Nick Fleury work his way up to I would like to see Nick Fleury work his way back up to the front of the field and possibly put down a win tonight and maybe give himself a little bit of an advantage going into next race as far as points and put a little pressure on Brett Hahn and see some exciting action from there. You can see number 25 just off your screen there. But we are going to get things rocking and rolling here one more time here at Iowa Speedway, where the Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series Touring, excuse me, I said that very wrong, the Frito-Lay Super Late Model Touring Series, round number 12. The pace car lights are off. We are going to see the green flag come out very shortly as drivers make their way through turn 3, and they're going to come out of turn 4 and see that green flag. We're going to get racing here once again. Pace car is going to drop down into pit road very quickly, and there it goes. John Cena, Cody Green side by side, and Cody Green in the number 22 launches the car off the start. He's going to have an impressive lead off the rest of the field here. John Cena, Andrew Payne going to be door to door here. Andrew Payne does not make that last long though, as he's going to take second place. He's going to be leading in front of the rest of the field now, behind Cody Green. John Cena falling back quite significantly into 5th place now, having to work his way around an absolute bunch of fast drivers here in this series. But Cody Green, out of nowhere, doing exactly the same thing as well, trying to lead some laps here as well. But Andrew Payne, a little bit of a shake-up there from the number 22. He's able to keep it straight, keep it on track. But that's going to come at a cost, though. He's going to drop down 3 positions into 4th place. Andrew Payne taking the lead, drops down to the bottom of the field. I'm not sure what happened there. He seemed to get a little loose. Andrew Payne suffering from a little bit of front end damage as well, so it seems like that he's not able to push that car as aggressively as he probably want to. In 7th place currently, that's going to definitely hurt Andrew Payne. Brett Hahn in the 71, however, 2nd place behind the 051 of Ron Hart. These two are very, very solid drivers when they're side by side. These guys duke it out very, very well. It's going to be exciting to see what develops between these two drivers here. But Nathan Henry in the 59 with Cody Green in the 22 and Eric Papineau, they're going to be in a little 3-piece here. Eric Papineau and Cody Green are nearly door-to-door here. Actually, that's incorrect. They're going to be kind of single file here now. spacing out just a little bit. Nathan Henry just trying to catch up to the top two drivers here, Ron Hart and Brett Hahn. And it seems like it's going to take some time. Those two drivers are absolutely incredibly fast, making their way around the track. Their last time around, Ron Hart did a 23.8 and Brett Hahn did a 23.77 for their lap time. So that's pretty decent. There's a couple drivers behind them that are actually going just a little bit faster, but only by a few milliseconds, if that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the front of the field. But going into the back of the field here, looking back at Andrew Payne, still in 7th place, having lost a few positions after a very impressive gain of 1st place there for just a couple laps. I believe it was only, and I'm not even sure if it was a couple laps, might have only been one. It just seems like that car is struggling to hold it together. And you can see there on your screen the amount of damage to that number 93 is quite significant. I don't think he's going to be able to be competitive for the rest of this race, as we have now gone over the halfway mark. Lap 52 of 100. Things are shaping up rather quickly. Let's just hop on board real fast with Andrew Payne and see exactly what's happening to Andrew Payne and see what he's having to do to that steering wheel. Oh, you can see there the number 20 is Skip Gandy diving down in front of Andrew Payne there for just a second. But you can also see from Andrew Payne's perspective, well, not from his perspective, but from his in-car camera, just how much he's having to correct the car. And I think that is definitely due to the amount of damage that he has on that number 93 machine. But Nick Fleury working his way up the field now as well in that number 25 machine. It's going to be 7th place now. A lot of drivers here just trying to make the best possible race they can. We have a caution out on the field, and I thought I heard it, but I didn't see it. So let's take a look at what happened here with John Sinu. We'll take things in slow motion here for everyone, just so we can have a little bit of a better look at what happens here. We'll take things in just a little bit closer. Looks like the 75 gets into the rear of John Sinu, and that's going to send him sideways up into the top of the track. Yeah, I don't know if any other drivers are going to get involved in that one. I don't think they are. I think everyone else in the field is able to get around that 86 without much trouble, which is always a good thing. Definitely don't want to see a massive wreck happen from small incidents like that. John just seems to be a magnet today as well for incidents or just having damage done to that car. I think that's the 2nd time he's been tapped into. Hopefully that doesn't persist for John here tonight. But everyone here doing an impressive job. Couple hiccups here and there, but so far, impressive racing that we've seen from everyone here today. And right now, I'm not sure if my prediction for Nick Fleury to be able to pull out a win for tonight's race is going to be quite correct. But we'll see if he's able to do so. There's still plenty of race left to go. Lap 56 of 100. More than enough time to make something happen. 44 laps around Iowa Speedway. Plenty of things can happen, and given his position, he's not too far off from being able to do exactly that. But Ron Hart in the 051, I think, is going to be someone that wants to win a race here. Last week at USA International, Ron Hart was very impressive. If you're watching today and didn't tune in for USA International, Ron was competing in the front of the field for a good portion of the race. I believe the majority of the race. I believe he was put out of the race due to an incident. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to go back and look at the broadcast again, but absolutely impressive racer Ron Hart is. We're going to see what he's going to be able to do here. Riding on board the hood cam of Brett Hahn, and as he said, the paint scheme for this car today has all of the faces of the admins of American Sim Racing Club, and if I'm not mistaken, the face that you are currently seeing on the hood of the 71 machine is Tanner Tallarico, the owner, founder of American Sim Racing Club. The other admins of the series, Nick Fleury, David Payton, Brett Hahn, and Andrew Payne, are also admins of this series here. So gotta give them props for the work that they put in, work that they do for the series to put this race together. Make sure that it is as fun as it is to race and to watch. But the lights are off on the pace car here. We are going to see another green flag attempt. We make our way through turn 3. We're going to come out of turn 4. We are going to see our action here once again. And there it is. Pace cars in, and green flag is out once again. And Ron Hart, absolutely impressive work getting in front of Brett Hahn here. I just want to ride on board for just a little bit here just to see the battle in the front of the field here. Brett Hahn doing impressive work. You can see him diving down into the bottom of turn 3 here, coming into turn 4. On the throttle, halfway through turn 4. Impressive work here from Brett Hahn, putting the pressure on the 051 of Ron Hart. Let's see how long he can keep that pressure up. Well, we're going to take a look here a little bit further back in the field with Eric Papanow in 4th place currently, as he has a line of drivers working their way behind him quite quickly. But as I say that, these guys are not exactly going slow either. These cars can find themselves at speeds around, I believe, 140, around 150 at their fastest around this track. So they're definitely not going slow by any means or any stretch of the imagination. But Eric Papanow is absolutely putting in work here, getting around, trying to get around the 59 of Nathan Henry, currently taking that low line, trying to do so here. He might be able to pull it off here coming out of turn 3 into turn 4 out to the straightaway. And it doesn't look like he's able to. Nathan Henry still able to hold out his third place position currently, but Eric Papanow is still going to be putting the pressure. Behind them, Nick Fleury in the number 25, still in 7th currently from that restart. And it looks like he's actually got a little bit of panel damage to his driver's side as well. Not sure if that's affecting his racing any too much. Might be bumping and grinding just a little bit on that wheel well. Maybe just a little bit. Hopefully it's not too much of an issue, though. It doesn't seem to be, as he's now going to be 6th place with Justin Callahan behind him and Cody Green as well. And we saw Cody Green a few laps ago able to pull off an impressive restart and make this race, or lead a couple laps here for this race. So great work there from Cody Green in 8th place currently as well. Going to be trying to see what he can do for the rest of this race as well. But Nathan Henry in 3rd place is going to be looking to try and make some action happen here. But we have a battle out in the front of the field here. We have the 051 of Ron Hart and Brett Hahn in the 71 nearly side by side here. Going into turn 3, coming out of turn 4. Let's see who's got the faster car here. It looks like Ron Hart is able to keep it out just enough in front of Brett Hahn, and these guys are both extremely fast and capable drivers, so we're going to see what develops between these guys here. But Ron Hart, impressive work from him, and even great job from Brett Hahn there, just on that bumper of the 051, almost pushing that car a little bit. Excellent work there from Brett Hahn. Is he going to be able to make that pass here happen out of turn 2? He's not going to be able to. Coming into turn 3, though, putting that pressure still on Ron Hart. Ron is definitely feeling it. Not going to be able to avoid feeling the burn of Brett Hahn. As Brett Hahn's able to make that pass there coming out of, I think that was turn 1, and now 2, but man, these guys still side by side. This is very impressive, and this is what we saw last week at USA International Speedway. These two drivers doing exactly the same exact thing. Side by side driving, just very close to one another, and oh man, just very impressive. Very, very excellent racing from these two. And we saw just now a little bit of a slip up from Ron Hart. And Brett Hahn was able to take advantage of that and get out in front of Ron, but Ron's still putting on that pressure. Great work from these two drivers here tonight. Let's check back in with some of our drivers here in the back of the field. Nick Fleury, 8th place currently in the number 25. Devin McDonald behind him. He's going to be 9th in that 18 machine. Nick Fleury not really finding himself in a whole lot of opportunistic spots to be able to make any sort of passes or really put any pressure on anyone currently. He's kind of in a lull. And looks like we have a crash out on the field. Let's take a look at that. Looking at Andrew Payne here in the number 93. And there he goes. Tokyo Drift. Let's go. Oh, snaps. And he's left kind of in the middle of the field. Nowhere left to go. And I think that just has to do with that front end damage. I think that car is kind of suffering from a number of things, really. Let's have a closer look at what, and it starts very, very early. Let's see if we can get a better look at what's going on here. Yeah, you can see it starting there, coming out of turn 4. And there, yep. That's a very difficult thing to recover from. Going as fast as these guys are, and with the damage that Andrew Payne has to his vehicle, it can be very tricky to keep your car together, keep it on track, keep it straight. So impressive work from Andrew for locking up his tires, making sure that he didn't put anyone else out of the race. But Brett Hahn is looking pretty solid here today, I do have to say. Brett Hahn is currently first, Ron Hart in second, with Nathan Henry in third, and Eric Papanow in fourth, and Skip Gandy in sixth. I do have to say this has been quite the race to watch, to commentate as well. Now, there's a few moments where there's just kind of a lull in the action, and there's not really a whole lot going on, not really a whole lot of drivers doing too much to overtake one another or put pressure on each other, so they're kind of just doing what they can to stay in the race, stay in the packs that they're in, find themselves wherever they possibly can. And in these sorts of races, it's very, very difficult to regain pace once you've lost it. Your tires don't regain tread. There's a number of different things that contribute to your car just degrading over time, and if you're falling off the pace, if you're not able to catch up to the rest of the field, it's not going to change very soon. For most drivers, it can be quite difficult, but some of these guys are able to do it. Some of these guys are able to come from 10th place and work their way through the field and finish first. It's quite impressive, really. As we get ready to start things here once again, our fifth caution for tonight. Lap 70 of 100. Getting very close to that 3/4 mark. 15 laps left to go. Well, 20 laps to go currently, but excuse me, for some reason I can't do math. It's 30 laps left to go currently. The lights are off on the pace car. Coming down the back stretch, and we're going to go into turn 3, come out of turn 4, and we're going to see that green flag drop one more time. 30 laps left to go here at Iowa Speedway for the Frito-Lay Super Late Model Touring Series, round number 12. Let's get ready to see our top 2 drivers set the field off, and Ron Hart right off the rip, pedal to the metal, leaving no room for Ron Hart to be able to catch up now, as he's gained nearly a 1/4 of a second gap in front of the 051. But I am quite confident that Ron Hart will be able to close that rather quickly, as he does that nearly instantly, it seemed like. And speaking of instantly, we have another caution out on the field. Andrew Payne involved in this one here once again as well. Let's see if the same thing happens here. No, it doesn't. John Sinu goes high on coming out of turn 4 and gets into the side of Andrew Payne and sends him sideways. Let's take one more quick look at that. Yeah, you can see there, just barely taps him and sends Andrew into the top wall there. Just on the exit of turn 4. Six cautions here today at Iowa Speedway. And I gotta admit, you know, before we went live here today, when I was testing on this track, just trying to get a feel for it and understand a little bit more of what these guys go through in these super late models, I found that it can be challenging to maintain a line that is consistent, I would say. I'm not exactly an experienced oval driver, so I can't speak for all, but I found it very easy to find to have myself in a place that I wasn't last lap around. And I think that might be the case here for some of these guys. From what I'm seeing, a lot of these guys are very consistent. So I don't think most of these guys are having that issue. Again, a lot of these drivers here are not rookies like myself when it comes to oval racing. But Brett Hahn, with only 29 laps left to go here, I think it's actually 28. I'm sure timing will update me here in just a moment. Once the pace car crosses the white line, or the checkered line, excuse me. And that would be correct. 28 laps left here at Iowa Speedway. With Brett Hahn having the lead that he currently has, I think this will be sort of the final nail in the coffin for any other driver that was looking to get a little bit closer to the lead in this before the season ends here for the Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series. It's going to be challenging for anyone, especially Nick Fleury. I think it would be quite the challenge for Nick to work his way through the field now. He's in 7th currently, so it's not completely out of the question. He's definitely more than capable of doing it. But with Brett Hahn just having a string of very solid races the past few weeks, it's going to be tough to say, but I'm definitely not putting Nick Fleury out of the question here. He's won one race in this series, so Nick, if you're watching, I'm rooting for you, man. Let's see that 25 cross the checker in first. But Brett Hahn as well, I think if his past performances are anything to go by, I think we all know who is going to be our podium setter for tonight. But we're going to be coming out of turn 4 here. Our pace car is going to drop down into pit road. We are going to see the green flag come out once again here. Brett Hahn leads the field once again with an impressive launch off the field. Pedal to the metal as per usual. Ron Hart dropping down just a little bit. falling behind Brett Hahn's pace just a minor bit here, but Bronhardt still is going to be someone that's going to be able to put the pressure on Brett Hahn. He's one of the faster drivers here as well, so I believe that 051 will see the bumper of that 71 here rather shortly, but Nathan Henry in the 59 is also looking to get some of that action as well. Nathan working his way up to the 051 of Ron Hart, but he's got quite a bit of distance to close. But speaking of distance to close, Eric Papanow behind Nathan Henry is very, very quickly closing that gap to the 59 and taking that low line, looking to take a pass around that 59 and get that third place position. And looking behind them, Skip Gandy in the number 20 machine. He's 5th place currently. A little bit of time between himself and Eric Papanow in 4th, but he's still putting the pressure on. But Nick Fleury behind him in the 25, you can see there on your screen on the right-hand side. He's getting very, very close to being on that bumper of Skip Gandy. And also to being closer to the front of the field. 25 laps left here to go at Iowa Speedway. Just enough time here for Nick Fleury to make some attempts at passes and work his way up the field further and further. But from Skip Gandy's position currently to Brett Hahn is nearly a 2-second gap, so that'd be a tough one to close. This late on in the race with only 24 laps to go. I think Nick Fleury's going to try and do his best here to gain whatever positions he can and get as high up the grid as he possibly can and just get the best finish that he can achieve here. And Brett Hahn looking absolutely fantastic. Almost about a 3/4 second gap now between himself and Ron Hart. With only 23 laps left to go, clean air in front of him. It's looking to, this race is looking to be in Brett Hahn's favor. But anything can happen. Anything can change the field, and it doesn't just because everything is clear in front of you doesn't mean that anything behind you is clear as well. As these drivers behind him are still racing, still trying to gain positions wherever they possibly can. So we're going to see what these guys are going to do here. Cody Green in the number 22 machine, 7th place currently. He has Devin McDonald in the 18th behind him. And in front of them, Nick Fleury in the 25, just to kind of give you a little perspective of where these drivers are. Devin McDonald taking a little bit of a dive there out of turn 3. Coming into turn 4, he's down low. With Cody Green up high. But Cody Green able to hold on to his 7th place position out in front of Devin McDonald. Great work there from the number 18 though, with the dive attack trying to make that work in his favor. Another driver that we haven't really touched on much today here, Skip Gandy in the number 20. He's kind of been a little all over the place here in the field. He's kind of been in the front, been in the middle-ish. Not too sure what's going on with Skip there in the number 20 tonight, but seems to just kind of, he seems to be working it. Whatever he's got working for him now, it seems to be decent. But yeah, he's down 3 positions from where he started. Not sure if he's just having trouble keeping pace or what the issue is. But Skip's a very solid racer here, so hopefully we'll get to see him kind of put some pressure on the top 3 here. Yeah, but that's going to be a little hard to do. As we last touch on, from Skip Gandy's perspective, or from his position, 3rd place, Eric Papanow, he's the closest one, being nearly a second from Skip Gandy. 2nd place, Ron Hart, about 2.5 seconds from Skip, and Brett Hahn 3 seconds now. Oh, we have a car sideways. Nathan Henry, the number 51, the number 59, has a moment. Let's see what we can muster from that if we can, but it doesn't look like we're going to have a caution come out from that either, so we'll just keep things green and keep things racing here. 16 laps left to go. The top three have kind of they've weeded themselves out. They've kind of spread out to a point to where they all have just clean air in front of them. So 14 laps left to go. The name of the game is just keep your car out on track and keep things moving. You can see on the track map there as well where your drivers are, your favorite drivers are on the track currently. You can see the 71 just now crossing the checkered line. The 051 of Ron Hart behind him. And just an impressive field of drivers behind them as well. Eric Papineau in the 43, rounding out your top three. Gonna have quite a bit of space behind him as well. But Skip Gandy in fourth place also has quite a bit of space behind him now, as Nick Fleury seems to have fallen back just a little bit behind the number 20 machine, but Nick Fleury, 5th place, still trying to garner some positions here, work his way through the field, so we're going to see what Nick Fleury's going to be able to pull off here tonight if he's successful in doing so. Cody Green in the number 22 machine also has quite a bit of room behind him, around him rather. Not really too much to worry about. Devin McDonald was previously giving him a little bit of pressure, but Devin seems to have fallen off just a little bit. Justin Callahan in the 75 is now on the bumper of Devin McDonald, putting some pressure on him. But looking at Nick Fleury here in that number 25, while it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to catch up here too soon, he definitely is improving in pace over the 20 there of Skip Gandy. He's definitely getting closer and closer, but 9 laps left to go here at Iowa Speedway. It's definitely going to be challenging to try and make something work here. With only this many laps left to go, it's going to be challenging, but we'll keep on watching. We'll keep seeing what Nick Fleury is going to be able to do here. But right now, I think it's going to be the Brett Hahn show. As a little bit of a slow up there, it seemed like. Not sure if David Payton in front of him got sideways and he had to slow up, check up, or what happened there, but he's still got an impressive gap, so he can afford it, but definitely not something you want to have to do time and time again. The more that you're having to slow up to cars in front of you, lap traffic, it definitely costs you quite significantly. So definitely want to work his way through that as quickly as he possibly can. Looks like he did as well, going around the lapped car of David Payton in the number 38 machine. 7 laps left to go here at Iowa Speedway. 6 now as Brett Hahn crosses the line. I think things have kind of wrapped up and shaped up to what we're going to see for the finish here. But I don't want to call anything too soon, as anything can still happen here. Ron Hart in 2nd place and Eric Papineau actually in 3rd place. And just behind them, Nick Fleury in 5th and Skip Gandy in 4th. There's definitely a chance that something can happen here for the really the top 2, or the 2nd position and the 3rd position. There's a chance that something can develop for that. But 4 laps left to go here if it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. We're keeping our eyes peeled, looking at what the field is going to do. These drivers have quite a bit of space between them. Everyone is looking quite comfortable between one another. You can almost see there on the track map on your screen just how much space is between these drivers. Three laps left to go here, though. Ron Hart in second place with Eric Papanow in third. Not really a whole lot changing between those two as well. Brett Hahn still in first. 100 laps here at Iowa Speedway, and what an exciting race that it was. That it shaped up to be. A lot of exchanges and who was leading the field. Final lap here, though, at Iowa Speedway. Brett Hahn going to take his final way around the track for the win here at Iowa Speedway for round number 12 of the Frito-Lay Super Late Model Touring Series. As he crosses the checkered line, Ron Hart coming across the line for second, and Skip Gandy for third. And surprisingly, Nick Fleury also was very close to getting a top 3 finish there, as he was in 4th place. Very impressive work there from Nick Fleury. But here are your race results for tonight. Brett Hahn finishing it out first. Ron Hart in second. Skip Gandy in third. Nick Fleury in fourth. Cody Green in fifth. Eric Papanow in sixth. Justin Callahan in seventh. Charles Darling in eighth. John Sinu in ninth. And Andrew Payne in 10th, rounding out your top 10 drivers for today. And starting off for our driver interviews, Skip Gandy, our second place heat winner for today. Skip, sir, how are you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I am doing fantastic, Skip. You had a fantastic, feature here, man. We saw drivers, well, the whole field really just kind of change dramatically. Kind of, I don't know. It was 3 or 4 different times. And you managed to work through that and pull out a win kind of at the last minute, it seemed. What happened there at the final hour, the final lap, that you were able to pull out a 3rd place finish here tonight?
Well, my teammate Eric, which I feel really bad for, ran out of fuel coming out of actually going into turn 3. So he actually gave me the position. I feel bad for him though.
Well, hey, you got to take them when they come to you. So, third place finish. That's not bad for tonight. But Skip, I got to ask you. Like I said, having finished second in the heat race tonight, what are your thoughts about tonight's race? It was kind of chaotic, it seemed.
Yeah, like the couple cautions, I've seen some people have contact behind us, and I was hoping that the caution didn't come out with like 30 to go, but it did. So we just had to basically manage from there and try to save until the end. But Brett, he was gone by the time we started to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like once Brett worked his way up to the front of the field, it was the Brett Hahn show, as I said on broadcast. But Skip, being this is the second to last race going into next week, what are you kind of expecting for the final race of the Super Late Model Series?
I project that it's going to be a great race. The whole field has been pretty competitive, and everybody's getting better and better each week. So the people that you don't expect to be up here actually talking to you guys are talking to you. So I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. Well, Skip, Before I let you go here tonight and celebrate a third place finish, is there anyone at home that you would like to give a shout out to or thank you before I let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my teammates Eric and Dan. I'd like to thank my sponsors Taggeray and everybody that admin team, everybody that puts this together, lets us run each and every week, and like PepsiCo, QuickTime, and you actually for putting the show on for us. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Skip. It's a pleasure being here and putting the show on for you guys. You guys are fantastic racers. I love being here with you guys. Skip, thank you for coming up here and talking with me tonight. Congratulations on your third place finish, and I will see you next week.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Skip. All right, that was Skip Gandy in the number 20 machine. Up next, Ron Hart in the number 051. Ron, sir, can you read me?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Ron, you have been quite the performer here in the past couple weeks here in the Super Late Model Series. Now, you and Brett seem to have quite the duke-outs quite often, and it's always fun to watch. I gotta say, what was kind of running through your head when you guys were duking it out there in the second half of the race?
Just trying to keep track position, Mason. I didn't have the pace that Brett had tonight, or I can maybe keep up with him, but I think he was a little bit better. So just trying to get ahead of him, and we had some good 3-wide moves through traffic to get out in front in the lead there, and thought maybe I could hold him off, but there was a lot of laps to go, and in the end, his pace just prevailed a little bit more than we had.
Yeah, it was definitely very interesting to watch Brett work his way through the field, and I gotta ask too. It's definitely a challenging track. Do you think that kind of played into the success of Brett and kind of the failure of some other drivers here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big momentum track. You got to really get a lot of throttle time and really keep your momentum up. If you get loose or have to get out of the gas, you lose a lot of speed. We ran the Xfinity race here a couple weeks ago. I was able to get the win in that. I think that kind of fits my style more. A lot more brake, a lot more kind of sliding the car around. These things are kind of stuck to the track, so it's a lot of just kind of grip it and rip it almost out here in these things, and it puts on a good show. But really, if you're not keep your momentum up, you're going to lose some spots.
Absolutely, Ron. Now, before I let you go here tonight, is there anyone watching at home or anyone that you would like to give a shout out to or thank you before I let you go and celebrate?
Just thanks to Tanner for painting up this cool looking car. I'm glad we could get a top 3 with it tonight and get it on the broadcast. So just thanks to him for making it. Looks like my real race car we got, so it looks pretty neat to have it on the sim.
Awesome, absolutely, Ron. Thank you for coming up here and talking with me tonight. Fantastic job in the race, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mason.
All right, Ron. See ya. That was Ron Hart in the number 51. And last but certainly not least, our race winner, Brett Hahn, in the number 71 machine. Brett, sir, can you read me?
Yeah, we got a copy, Mason.
Oh, Brett, it seems like a common theme. You coming up here and talking with me is who are you paying off here, Brett?
Yeah, luckily, no one at the moment. I at least don't think so. At least I'm not paying anyone. But yeah, it's awesome to be up here. Like I said at the start of the season, Mason, I try and talk to you every race that I can, and if I get some put in victory lane, even better.
Absolutely, Brett. Now, there was quite a bit of challenges that were posed for nearly every driver here tonight. Iowa seems to be a very difficult track for some drivers. Some drivers are able to make it work for them. You were definitely one of them to make an example of that here tonight. But do you think Iowa was definitely a more challenging track for some of these guys here tonight, or what was your thoughts about tonight's race?
Yeah, Mason, this was definitely a tricky track, especially coming off of turn 4. It seemed like there was little grip no matter where you were, unless you were really high. And the track actually changed a lot. We saw a lot of guys moving around, trying different lines. I was just always trying to hit my marks, hit where I needed to go, and just keep that thing facing the right direction. A couple times, especially when I was behind Ron Hart, this car would get so tight in the middle and then loose on off, trying to just get an extra degree or two in the wheel to try and cut down and smoke the rear tires on off.
Absolutely. Now, given that this is the second to last race And you're the points leader here in the series. And with another first place finish, you're definitely very well seated to be the winner here of the season. Are you looking to take a bye week for next week, or are you going to come in here next week for the original Phoenix Raceway and put down another podium finish?
Oh man, Mason, these races are way too much fun to miss. I mean, I've dragged this sim setup a couple thousand miles to just make it on these super late model race nights because they're just so much fun to race. And I mean, luckily we don't have to worry about points or anything like that, like you said. So we can just go out there, have some fun, try and put it in victory lane, and have some close, hard racing with all these guys out here.
Absolutely. Now, Brett, before I let you go and celebrate your win here tonight, is there anyone watching or at home that you would like to give a shout out to and thank before I let you go?
Yeah, of course. First and foremost, gotta thank Ron Hart. Awesome battle again tonight with that 51 machine. Always a pleasure getting to race around him. When he got around me at first after pin for tires, I'm like, oh, did I make a mistake? But just continue to hit my marks. Waited for him to maybe make a mistake. Got that inside moving just enough where I finally was able to clear him into 3 and set sail. But of course, I guess the admin admirer here tonight on the Carlos specialty got all the admin faces on the car, so got to give a shout out to all of them of Tim, Nick, Dave, Andrew, and of course Tanner for the series. So got to thank all those guys. Of course, Frito Lay, Tagaray, Luke Oil, PepsiCo for all the series sponsors. Of course, you, Mason, for doing an awesome job on the broadcast. Always a pleasure rewatching these races. Got to thank the family out here tonight. I know my grandma's watching. Once again, another victory for Pop-Up up there. Also, mom, dad, brother, sister, I know they're all watching as well. And, of course, all the other Brett the Jeff fans. I know I got Chris watching, Jacob, as well as Justin and all the other work buddies. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And, of course, Quick Time not on the car tonight, RogersCars.com, RHU, Boosted Brothers Broadcast, and Turn 3 Racing Network. And then, of course, Team Goon Squad. I believe I hit all the boxes, Mason. Always a long list.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a lot of people to thank for these series. A lot of work goes into putting these on, and it's always great to see everyone come together. And Brett, congratulations on your another first place finish here. I believe this is your 4th win for the season, so definitely got to be feeling pretty awesome for that. Brett, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Yep, Mason, it's going to be a fun one. The 71 machine will start at the back with the shotgun rules, so I get to go through the field at least twice. So looking forward to that and racing against this whole field next week. So, Mason, everyone watching at home, have a good night.
Absolutely, Brett. You as well. All right, everyone, and that was our race winner, Brett Hahn, in the number 71 machine. My, oh my. What a race that we had here tonight at Iowa Speedway. Round number 12 of 13 for the Frito-Lay Super Late Model Touring Series. It's been an exciting one, and next week we are heading to the old Phoenix Raceway, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And it's going to be some similar action. Won't be a short track race. It's going to be some more exciting, fun action here. And before I let everyone go here tonight, I would just like to thank the American Sim Racing Club for having me on here today, and for all of the broadcasts here for the series, for the Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series. And I would like to thank everyone watching. If you enjoyed the broadcast tonight, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe as well, so that way you can stay tuned in on all of Team Goon Squad's action. Catch all of our future broadcasts that we have 6 days a week. And if you enjoyed the action that you saw here tonight and would like to try it out for next season, you can head on down to the website AmericanSimRacingClub.com to get signed up for any of their series that they have available. And if I'm not mistaken, they will be accepting applications possibly for the Mountain Dew Modified Tour series, or the Modified Tour, excuse me. So go on over to their website again. That's AmericanSimRacingClub.com, and check that out if it's something that you would be interested in. and see if you yourself can win a race here with the American Sim Racing Club. And as always, my name is Mason Heimbaugh, bringing you today's action in 1080p 60 frames a second with Team Goon Squad. I hope you all enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.
Driver Carrington gets dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here